Aloha, Rich Halverson here. This is ICS321, and this is the third video on the final project. So in this video, I'd like to go over my code for deleting a film. And it's short and pretty easy to understand, and if you want, you can use it as a launching pad for stuff that you're doing. So let me share my screen. Let's see if let's start this. Okay, I've started the AI companion meeting summary, and so we'll see what that looks like when it's done. All right, so let's go to a final project. And so I've added the last video I just made earlier today. This is the first video, so you can look at these two videos, download this code here, and get my project running. So if I go to my project, that is do I have? Yeah, it's right here. So I'm going to go there. I didn't make this a link. Maybe I should make this a link. Okay, I'm going to copy this and I'm going to go there. And so here's this. So I'm going to copy this and make this a link. All right. So here we are. And so let's start with the delete film. And so if you go to cPanel, click on File Manager, you get here. And see, let me just do that for you in case it's been a while since you saw the last video. Go to File Manager, go to Public HTML, and remember we created Final. Now, what we did not do last time is I did not show you how to make Final hidden or passworded. So, for example, if you go back, if you go here, if you just go here to my main URL, you see final is there. So you can see final. Yeah, there it is. Um, and so what I want to do is make it so you don't see that. And that way your friends can't come in and see what you're doing. So you want to password it. So here I am in the file manager. This is the file. This is the folder that I want to password. Do a right click, do password protect, and I'm gonna do like I said in my thing. I said the username is Richard, and this is the password. So I'm gonna do this. So I'm gonna set that way. That would be here. Password protect this directory. Enter the name. That's a fine name. That's a name. Okay, fine name. Save it. I'll go back. And then now I have to create a user, and I'm going to just make it be Richard. And I'm going to make the password be what did I say the password was over here? I know. Richard, this thing. Copy that. And I'm going to put that here. That one there, and that one there. Looks like it's strong enough. And I'm going to save it. Okay, now when I go back, you can see that I'm an authorized user there. Now, when I go back here and I refresh this, I still see. I'm going to open up a new browser, see if that actually is passworded. Richard.ics321.org. Right. I do not see final. I don't see final here because it's passworded. The reason you're able to see it right away here is because I had already entered in the password, the username and the password for both of my final test folders here, but here I didn't enter in any of the passwords, so you don't see it. Okay, so, but I can still go to /final, and then, this thing pops up, and I type in the user name. Remember, it was Richard, and this one was Richard October, Richard October 18 is the password. Okay, and I'm in, and I'm not going to save it. Okay, so, and here are the three files that we see we had working, and we're going to work on the delete. Okay, so let me put that back over here. Go in here and work on. We're going to work on delete. Is it open? No, it's open and delete. Okay, so now let's go back to PHP MyAdmin. So in here, databases, go to PHP MyAdmin. And last time we put it up, last time we created this Sakila 2 with all these tables, and we deleted the tables out of Sakila that we don't need. We don't care about the views at the moment. But okay, let's open up film, and I'm gonna open this up in a new browser. Open up a link in, I mean, a new window. And so this is it. The first film here is called Academy Dinosaur. It's film ID number 1. I'm also going to look at the what's custom. It's custom. Oh, that's a view. Um, so let's look at film actor in a new browser. And that one now is right here, and we see a bunch of film IDs, and let's click on film ID to sort it by film ID. And now these are all the actors that are in the first film, film ID number 1. And we're also going to care about film category. So let's open up that in a new browser window. And the reason I'm opening up all these is because when we delete a film, we want all these other records that are pointing to that film to also be deleted, because you don't want them pointing to a film that doesn't exist. So the one I just opened was film category, and if we sort by film ID, we see that there's just one. The film category, film ID 1 is in one category. It's category number 6, whatever that is. Okay, so that's and then the last thing we have here is there's also this film text. And if we look at film text, let's open that up in a new one. We see all it is it's the title and the description of the film. This goes on, and so this is a large field. We can just go full texts, see this is the description. So now when we delete, so let's go to here, and let's here is it. Let's select this, and let's try to delete it. See what happens. I'm going to do the traditional submit. Oops. Let me do this. Ajax delete request. Function delete. Okay. There's something wrong with the submit. You can fix that. But the Ajax one does not work. Okay, let me go to here, and let's open up the same site here. Let's open up the error log. Try to see why it didn't work, and I think I know why it didn't work. It's because MySQL exception cannot delete. See, this is the one that just happened. Okay. 10:48. This is Greenwich Mean Time. And MySQL exception cannot. By the way, I knew this. I knew we were going to get this error. Okay. We cannot delete or update the parent row. Foreign key constraint fails. Okay, we're trying to delete a we're trying to delete a film ID, and we see that when we try to uh, in film actor, we see that there's a reference to this film ID, and the way it's the constraint is that on delete it restricts deletes. Okay, so let's go look in our code. We haven't taken a peek at any of the code yet. So this is let's open up the form delete. This is the form. Open that up. Uh, Edit this along. Open up a new window. This is the delete form. And we'll check that out in a moment. And let's also look at the API, delete API, edit. All right, now what happened was we tried to delete. So, okay, so if I made some notes in here, it says, make sure you don't delete a film if there's still a film category or film actor reference to it. Well, that's the problem. There's a film actor reference to a film. You can, to solve this problem, you can cascade the form constraints in film category and film actor. So when the film is deleted, so are all the film entries in those tables. Okay, so that would be changing um, changing the constraint in these two tables. So when a film is deleted, then it will be the delete will cascade instead of the delete being restricted. Okay. Or you can manually first delete all the films references in film category and then manually delete all the film references in film actor and then go back and delete the film itself, and then that'll work. And so what I'm going to do, this is the easiest thing. So I'm just going to go change that. So I'm going to change, and so here's how we do that. Let's go to the, uh, we need to go to film category, we need to go to film actor and film category and change it. Okay, so here's film actor. Let's go to structure, and we're going to change the, uh, go to relation view, and we're going to change these constraints. This says um, it's this links to the actor and this links to the film. It's the film one that we want to change. Okay. On delete, we have it set to restrict. Let's change it to cascade. So if a film ID is deleted, then it'll cascade to this one. Okay. So I changed that to cascade. Um, And I'm going to leave this restrict. So this has to do is if an actor is deleted and there's a reference to a film, does the reference go away, or does the or does it cause an exception, which raises an error? I'm going to leave that alone because that's not me. I'm not taking care of the actors. You can expand this to take care of the actors if you want to, and then you might want to consider that. Anyway, so let's save this. And we have to do the same thing for the film category. We want to delete, when a film is deleted, we want to delete the reference to the category. So let's go to structure and let's go to relation view. And here is the reference to the film. And we want to, on delete, we want to cascade the delete. Okay, let's save that. All right. Now, when we let's look at all these again, just to make sure. We're going to look at film table, still there at film table. And let's go back to film actor. Film ID's there. Let's go back to film category. film category. The film ID is there. And this one is the description. Is that still there? Yes, that didn't get deleted. Okay, so now I'm going to try to delete again. So now the delete should cascade. So I'm going to just okay, I'm going to refresh this. So do that. Select this again. Do the Ajax request, and it's the function delete is there. And boom, this comes along. It says film one was deleted. Affected rows one. I'm pointing this affected rows one because I'm going to point out a difference between that you might want to change it to the other way. So but anyway, let's go back to here. And so now when we refresh this, it's gone. Film ID number one is gone. Let's go here. This is reference to the category. Look at reference to the actors. Look at all these actors. We have 5462. Let's refresh this. Boom. Well, they're all gone, and now it's 5452. Looks like 10 looks like that film number one had 10 actors in it. They've all been deleted. Let's go to film category. There's a reference there. Let's refresh this. And we see it's gone. Good. And we go to here. This is this extra film text. If we refresh this, we see that that's gone too. Now, how did this, how did that happen? How did this become deleted? Well, if you look at the film table and you look at triggers in the film table, you see that there are uh, after has to it has to finish. So after you delete a film, it's going to go in and uh, delete the same row in film text. See, it's going to go in and do this. If you insert, then it's going to insert the description into that film text, title and description, and if it updates, it updates. Okay, so that's how film that's how this film text table gets taken care of. All right, so the last thing the thing I wanted to point out here is that it says the affected rows of one. And so when you delete and having the cascading delete take care of the deletion of all of the reference rows in those tables that connect the many-to-many relationship between the films and the actors. Those subordinate, I'll call them subordinate deletes, don't get counted. Only the main delete gets counted. If you want the subordinate deletes to get counted, then you have to manually do that. And you would go in and manually delete all of the film category records for a film, and then go in and manually delete all the film actor records for a film and count up those affected rows, sum them up, and then you delete the final one and you sum them up. And then you could put a different number here. The last thing I wanted to do is I wanted to try to debug now that the first one is film number one is gone. That was whatever it was. Now this thing here is the ID. So now it's just film number two. And if you notice, if I submit this, what happens? It doesn't work. So something update function. So something is funny there, and I think I know exactly what it is. Let's go to the here, and I did open. This is the form. I think the problem is right here. We view source. That's pointing to the wrong API. It should be pointing to API underscore delete underscore film. That's because I messed around with it before. Let's just go fix that. Let's change this to delete instead of update. Save this. And now if we go back here, we have to refresh this. Now let's try to delete Ace Goldfinger and it's deleted. So now Ace Goldfinger is deleted. And when we go back here and refresh this, we see that now Ace Goldfinger is gone and the last ones are okay. So I promised I'd go through this code with you. The HTML is not that big a deal. And that's not really the project was to make the APIs, and the HTML is just here to exercise the APIs. But if you end up making HTML that's fancier than this, then you get points for that. Okay, so just both getting fancy with your API code and then also getting fancy with the code that uses the API. Both of those. Okay. Um, so just to go over this, this is film ID. Let's separate this and put this in this. I don't have those things on, do I? I don't have. Okay. Is there another way to do this? How is this? Well, I wanted to show both this and this on the same screen. So here we go. This up delete film that says here. And what we wanted, and this is the form. Now this this is activated by the regular submit, and that submit is right. Okay, first we have the generation of this drop-down menu, and that's right here. We select all the films in the titles, order by title, and we output, we grab them all up, and then we have this loop here, which goes in and generates all the option tags. Okay, this loop generates bing, 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 bing. Okay, that's what that does here. And so this generates, this is the select thing here. That's this. Below that, we have this function tags. We have the HTTP submit. That's this. And this is a standard submit button, which is activated, which activates this and send. This is back in the 1990s when HTML first came out. This is how you submit it. You submit it to a form. It sends data to the server, comes back, and that's that. This Ajax request one, this on click activates this JavaScript method, which is up here, which is here. And this JavaScript method, uh, it makes sure that it's being activated by film ID film delete, which is this this ID gets passed, film ID delete. And what that means is just a safeguard in case you want to put the code for all three of these APIs together into one great big API. This will, you got to have this there to distinguish between them. But this creates the query, and the query simply is grabbing what the film ID is, and that's what you see when you do this, and this thing pops up. Are you sure you want to submit this query? And that's this thing right here. Did I delete? I think I deleted this. Um, so this creates that query. This asks, are you sure you want to submit that query? And then if it does, it generates the Ajax. This is where it comes back. This is where it comes back right here. And what I do is I just put that into this text box. This thing addresses that text box, and it just puts the result in the text box. So either way, it goes to the same API. This goes to that API. That's where it goes to. But for Ajax, you actually have to build the name value pairs. When you do it this way, the name value pairs are automatically generated by the browser HTML and sends over a submit. sends over and it can be a get or a post, whatever. You don't need to know what that means. Um, but so that's this code. Now let's go over to the API code. And here, by the way, in both of these, we access the database, so that's what this is for. Um, and Sakila 2. This connects to the database here. And this is this SQL used. It's an array that's going to store. I'm going to shove stuff in there, and at the end, you'll see it when I output the request. Okay, when I output it, this I output for my information in the return packet. Okay, so this grabs the functions, this grabs the film ID, that's all we need. If nothing else happens down here, we've created an out, which is just basically all the requests that come in. This is the name value pairs that come in. This is how you get to the name value pairs. Okay, there's 3 of them up here, but this gets all of them. And it makes sure that the function is delete. And then here we go and we do the delete and so on. And then when we're done, we return the request, packet so you can see what you asked for. This says this is what you asked of me. These are all these. Each time we did something, we shoved it into this SQL used array because these are notes, and we saw that earlier. This outputs the main SQL statement, and then there's a message here. So when we actually do a delete, and when we do this kind, comes here, and so this is the SQL used array that I talked. This is the request packet. This is what came over. Same thing. It's going to be gone now. If we do this again, we see it's film ID number 3 is already there. It must have already been deleted. That's because we just did it. We refresh this. Now this is the top one. If we do this one, same thing comes over, and these were the SQL statements and so on, messages, and this is the response message. So that should you can look at the code and see what it is. This is just easy, straightforward code, very small, but you get the idea. This is how you return information and so on. So I think that's it for this particular video. And the next one I'll do is add, because add's the next easiest, and the most difficult one is the update. The update kind of combines both delete and add. So, all right, hope this helps. Thank you for watching.